The legal fight not over with both the Trump administration and Judge Boasberg defending their decisions. So where does it go from here? Let's ask former federal prosecutor Neama Rahmani. Neama, thank you so much for being here. Very much appreciate it. So in this court battle over these deportation flights, you have Judge Boasberg saying he's not so sure that the Alien Enemies Act here can be applied, especially given the fact that he thinks questions about whether or not there was really an invasion or whether or not this is an act that could be used in a time of war. So I'm wondering, what do you make of the skepticism from Judge Boasberg?
Judge Boasberg is rightfully questioning the use of this law, and we've really only used it 3 times in American history: the War of 1812, World War I, and World War II. And World War II, of course, it was the basis for the Japanese internment camps, which was really a stain on American history. So really, it's a question of procedural due process, Brian, and Lucas touched upon this. It's not an issue of whether these individuals have a right to be in the United States. I don't think they do. I think they will be deported. It's not a matter of if, but when. But it's really a question of, do they have a right to see an immigration judge before they do, to make their case that they're not from Venezuela, or they're not gang members, or they have asylum. But it's that procedural right. Can the Trump administration, the Department of Justice, the Department of Homeland Security, can they bypass that and put these individuals on planes without seeing an immigration judge? And that's the question Boasberg has.
So reportedly here, well, seeking a resolution to this dispute, Judge Boasberg has brought up the possibility of creating some sort of a review panel that could determine whether or not the people that were sent over on these deportation flights, alleged to all be Tren de Aragua members, whether or not they are gang members. Is that a potential swift resolution to this fight?
Potentially, yes, but what should be done is either a change in the law. Trump controls both houses of Congress. If he doesn't like the law, then you can change it. I mean, these types of rights are set by federal law. An example I like to give is there's no right to a lawyer in immigration court. So if that right exists, obviously these detainees can have a lawyer, but they don't. So we can bypass that. Trump can simply just change the law. Now, if the law exists, we can handle it in district court, federal court, but really the best way to do things is to fix our broken immigration system. The problem is it takes months, sometimes years, to see an immigration judge. So if we speed that process up, put these individuals before an immigration judge, these removals can happen lawfully and quickly.
But the Trump administration is arguing they have the executive authority to do this, especially because they cite the fact that Tren de Aragua gang members have a close relationship to the Venezuelan government. They also claim that there was an invasion based on just years of looking at the southern border and our drone footage day after day of people coming into this country illegally. What do you think of that? The fact that they have the executive authority based on what we know from the Supreme Court?
Well, there are instances where the administration does have executive authority to remove individuals, and we've heard about Title VIII and expedited removals. That can happen, or a Border Patrol or a Customs and Border Protection officer, they can remove someone without having them see an immigration judge. But this seems like a little bit of a legal stretch to me, to say we're at war with Venezuela and therefore we have a right to detain or deport individuals from Venezuela. I think that's something that most lawyers and judges would take an issue with and really have to look into more. And I think that's why they're trying to really force a square peg into a round hole here. I understand that they want individuals who are dangerous removed from the United States, and they're trying to do their job as the enforcers of our nation's immigration laws. But if there's this procedural right on the books, they really should be following the law here.
All right, well, we'll see how it plays out, that's for sure. Neama Rahmani, thank you so much for being here. Former federal prosecutor, thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Talk to you soon.